Greg with Ready2 Paramotor. And I'm sure by now every one of you has seen the tariff list and how it's going to affect us. Right off the bat, China, 34% add-on to the already existing 45% tariff. European Union, where most of our stuff is made, 20% tariff. So unfortunately, this means that everything is going up in price, from the paramotors to the propellers to the wings that we fly with. This is enough in most circumstances to scare people away from the sport. People are going to say, I can't afford to buy a new paramotor when I have to pay groceries and the rising cost of groceries. So at Ready2 Paramotor, we've got a way to combat this, although we can't make the price cheaper. But what we do have is we do have the ability to get you into new paramotor gear, financed for 18 months at 0% interest, same as cash. Or we can finance you for 60 months as low as 2.9%, giving you a payment that's less than what I pay for my T-Mobile cell phone. Now this includes training. So if you're a school and you have potential new students that are afraid that they can't afford the training or afford the gear, we can finance a package for you, again, at as low as 2.9%, that includes the training at any school in the country. Combined with our award-winning service, factory warranties of 2 years on brand new motors for all the paramotors we sell, from HE Paramotor to PAP to the new Gorilla that's coming out soon. Just think Ready2 Paramotor. Think about it. Let's keep this.
All right, welcome everybody to our Paramotor Nation. Oh, whoops, wrong person. Ready2 Paramotor, wrong show. Hey, that was Matt Gregg right there, and what a great message from Matt with these new tariffs that just came out yesterday. I mean, I know there's two reasons why you're here, and that's one, Robert Michaels. You can't wait to hear from him, see his pretty little face again, and number two, you want to win a prop, because yesterday that prop might have cost $295. Today it might cost $400 with these new tariffs. So we're going to work through it. We're going to make things affordable and comfortable for your budget. Stick around. There's some great things to come. So yes, we have Robert Michaels on tonight. In 2 weeks from tonight, we have Kyle O'Glee scheduled to be joining us. It's been a long time since we've seen Kyle. So now we're on Thursday nights. Thanks for making it here tonight. Every other Thursday night, we're going to have a show. So 2 weeks after that, we're going to be talking about bad apples, getting ready to plan for it. We're already planning ahead. We've got so many amazing things. We can't wait to share that with you. Jerry Devers from the Bad Apples Planning Committee, he's going to be here as well to answer any questions that you might have, whether it's cost, where to park, where to camp. He'll be here to answer those questions. 2 weeks after that, we're going to be at Bad Apple. So we're going to do a live production, just like in the good old days when we used to go live from a fly-in. That'll be a lot of fun. We'll walk around. We'll see who's there. It's always a hoot. And then 2 weeks after that, I lost the track of dates at this point, but I think it's the last Thursday in April or May. That's going to be Ryan Southwell is going to be joining us again. So a lot of great things to come. This is the first time we're broadcasting in like 6 or 7 different locations right now. So I'm so glad wherever you're watching, participate in the chat, because that's how you're going to win later on an opportunity to win that prop. I want to introduce our co-hosts for this evening. First one is my friend Rick Davies, PPG Gorilla. He's here. What's up, Ricky?
What's happening, guys? Good evening. Good evening.
I'll tell you what's happening, Rick. You had this amazing little video that you just came out with, about an hour ago?
Yeah.
And let's see if I can't find it here. Let's see here. I think it was this one right here. Yeah. Let's take a look at this. So just a couple little things. This is the new HE206 RS, and just a couple little shots that you took of it here. Tell us, I mean, in this video, you seem to like it. What was the real experience like when you were flying this thing? Did it feel like it had more power than other motors? Was it smooth? What were some of your thoughts on this new motor?
Dude, it is a beast. It is a beast. It sounds absolutely wicked. And just a ton of power, Okay. I went really slow and easy on my inflation there because my first time with the new engine. But once I got off the ground, I was really, really impressed by it. Really smooth again, all the way through the throttle range. There is a little bit of a noticeable power band on it, but man, when you have that much power, it's got to come in there somewhere.
And yellow looks good on you, buddy. You look like a little bumblebee there. I like it.
I like the colors. Yeah, I like the colors.
Yellow sharp. So you think that thing's going to sell pretty well?
Yeah, I'm psyched about it. I'm really excited to get some more time on it. I was just on break-in flight there, so nothing crazy. But
yeah, Randy
I'm
says, look at that. Randy right there says 206 is sweet. So yeah,
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, it is.
Very cool. Joining us next is the man you just saw him in the video right there. That is going to. Oh, that's Matt's little video there. Let's find Matt here. Here he is. He's all the way down here. Hey, Matt. He's coming in.
Hey, guys.
There he is. What's going on?
Hey, guys. How are you? So I know everybody's sick of hearing about these tariffs, and I appreciate you showing that video because that's what's hot in the news today. But we're here to talk about the exciting stuff tonight, right? So we don't want to bury us too much in the whole tariff thing.
What, Matt? So first of all, I got to thank everybody in the chat who followed that idea of going to the Ready2 Paramotor Facebook page, which this is actually being broadcast on live now, because you got us from like 40 some followers up to 162, which qualified us to be able to show this live stream each Thursday night or every other Thursday night. So thank you for that. But there was a goal in mind to get to 1,000. And Matt, what is that, or why is that?
Well, okay, so listen. So we all have to have goals and set mile markers, right? So I guess for no other reason than I just like the evenness of 1,000, and to make things fair and equitable for everybody. I said, you know what? And we're going to set a goal. And we're going to set a goal of 1,000 followers on Facebook, and how do we get there? Okay, we could get there organically. We can get there through marketing. But at the end of the day, we're so excited about these new RS engines from HE, the 185, the 206. I think we have the first 206 video out there now with Rick doing that. We're so excited about this. We want people to experience it. So we thought, what could be a win-win relationship, a win for our friends and this new paramotor family that we're forming here at R2B? What's a win for them? What's a win for us? And we came up with that number of 1,000 followers on Facebook. So we made the decision. We want to take one of these brand new 185 engines, and we want to put it up on the block. But I don't want to sell tickets. I'm not doing a sweepstake. I'm not going to take money out of your pocket. We just literally want to give it away. Okay. We said, okay, let's do this. If we can get 1,000 followers on Facebook, we will randomly choose one of those winners, and we will give them a brand new 185 engine, absolutely free. Let's make it a win-win out there. And maybe you don't like those odds, 1 in 1,000. I tell you what, I spent more than $1,000 on the Florida lottery, and I haven't won $4. So somebody out there is going to win. So the only thing we've asked is, I'm not asking you to like, follow, share, comment, tag 10 friends in a post. And I probably should be asking that. But just like and follow the Ready2 Paramotor page. Share a video. I don't care if it's this video of R2P Live or one of the videos that we've done. Just share a video, tell a friend, and we're going to pick somebody out of those first 1,000 and give away a brand new.
Awesome.
Right out of the box, no shipping. You're not going to pay taxes. I'm going to pay the taxes on it. You are literally going to win a brand new, wonderful engine.
Awesome. Very generous.
We're excited.
Also, if you go to Ready2 Paramotor Facebook page, you'll see a ton of videos that Matt's been producing. He is making I think 4 or 5 t-shirts you're up to, and I'm sure you're not going to stop. There's so many things that are going to be for sale. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be so much stuff given away at Bad Apples. I am dying to tell everybody everything that I know, but I know I have to wait 4 more weeks. And hang on, because it's going to be awesome. If you're not planning on coming to Bad Apples, well, plan on coming, because there's going to be so much stuff to give away. Anything else you want to quickly say about that?
Well, I see Tony Marzano in here. He made a comment. He says the lottery's rigged. Well, I don't know if that's true, but he asks, is this contest going to be rigged? Well, I'm going to tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. I have this great assistant. Her name is Megan. And Megan is a very good clerical girl. So when we get to 1,000 followers, and I'm talking the day we get there to 1,000 followers, she's going to go up and she's going to pull up that list. She's going to write every single person who followed us, name on a piece of paper. We're going to put this in this little gold spinning wheel, and we're going to live draw that name. So there's no rigging of this. It is going to be so random. I'm not counting on a computer to do it. Literally, we're putting everybody's name in this wheel, and we're going to choose somebody that way live.
Awesome. Cool.
So
let's get the next person in here. That is going to be the team pilot of Ready2 Paramotor. His name is Patrick Franklin. Patrick is here.
R2P. I love it.
I love it. Patrick was sick last week. He got off this cruise ship. Now I think he had the norovirus. As you can see, he's confined to a white room right now. He's not allowed in that room. He's sequestered there. How you feeling?
I got the Argentina flu.
There you go. Good to have you on, buddy. I'm missing Tony. I think we lost Tony, so that's okay. Tony, we miss you. I think he's in the chat. And but back from last week, Ripman Ryden, who really said, David, I just really want to be on the show with Robert. So we said, okay, we'll bring you back one more time. He's on the show here tonight. And Ripman had an interesting week last week. Everybody knows Jeff Goyne. He is the author of all the PPG Bibles, right? He got to do some dune soaring after the show a week and a half ago. And something strange happened there, Ripa. What happened with that?
First off, hello, everybody. And I'm here to support Ready2Fly Paramotor, and I'm here to support my buddy Robert Michaels. Now, back to Jeff Gowen. Jeff decided to put on a mermaid costume and soar the dunes wearing the mermaid costume. I really don't know what to say about it other than to each his own.
To each his own. You know, did you catch it on video? I mean, we saw pictures, but did you catch it on video?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
I was there filming it.
All right. Make sure you go to Ripa's YouTube channel to take a look at that. Now, without any further ado, let's bring on our guest for this evening. He was the founder, host, janitor of paraglidingtalk.com, and I really give it up for Robert for so many reasons. But you know, when I started getting into this sport 6-7 years ago, it was Robert's show that was the one that everybody watched every Thursday night at 9 o'clock, and it worked so well for him. That's why we're stealing the time on Thursday nights at 9. But Robert was a staple for so many different people out there who tried to do shows. You know, our show was kind of started off mimicking his, and we were just so grateful to be able to turn in every Thursday night and learn a lot. That was the whole purpose of Robert, was he wanted people to learn and to protect themselves, right? And he had 300 episodes, and he is not doing any more. Hi, Robert. How are you, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
There you go.
I'm super stoked to be here, by the way. Thank you guys so much for inviting me. Huge things happening on the Western Front here in sunny Southern California, in Ramona. We're just living the dream out here, having a great time. Want to just, you know, you're wondering, what have I been doing on Thursday nights? I have a new show that I follow now. I love. It's called Lindy's Treehouse. It's my favorite place to go on Thursday nights. So just before your show, my mom has a show. Yeah. That's the one. That's where you get the goods right there. And so, want to give a shout. I know she's in there in the chat, and a bunch of people from her show are here. So I'm so glad that all of you guys are here. Some of the greatest people on the planet watch her show.
Yes.
How have we not heard about this?
Yeah, Lindy's Treehouse. She doesn't really talk about paramotoring. So, I mean, it might not be in your algorithm yet, but she talks about all kinds of good stuff, and it is really good.
Shout out to her. Shout out to her.
Lindy's Treehouse, faithful. Thursday nights. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm super stoked. I heard about this plan, and I would hope Matt would expound a little bit more. But it's such a great plan. There's some gaps in between getting a paramotor. Obviously, training is important, and all of the dynamics that are involved. But there's this gap of how long it takes to get a motor. Sometimes it takes longer than you like. And when you're really excited about flying, I'll tell you this, I didn't want to wait. And so if you've got the money and you put it out there and you're waiting weeks and weeks, and I heard some horror stories from way back in the day, we're talking late 90s, where guys were waiting for months and months to get a motor or a wing. And those days are over, because it sounds like Matt now is going to be able to have stuff on a shelf that will ship the next day you order it. So I'm super stoked to hear more about that. And that's what drew me in. I wasn't going to do another podcast. I was like, no, leave me alone. And I just want to fly. I can fly out of the front yard now. And we actually have a very close flying site that is free flight. free flying site that's walking distance from the house. So now all my flying needs are met as long as it's not raining. But it's raining right now, so can't fly right now.
So I think that's one of the first questions. Like everybody wants to know, what have you been doing? And what have you been flying? Have you been doing more paramotoring? Have you done more paragliding? I know we've got a couple of videos queued up to show, but I guess talk us through that. And if there's one in particular that, I mean, we've got 4 videos here. Let's talk about paramotoring first. Okay.
Yeah.
How much paramotoring have you been doing? Because this is a paramotoring show. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Obviously my go-to is free flight, but in the winter months, it's usually difficult to be able to fly without, I fly after work because I work full time and got the church. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. And then there's a lot of upkeep on the property. So you never know what you're going to get into. But in the winter, you fly paramotors a lot. I recently had an adventure, I'll call it, with Jeff Hammond. And Jeff Hammond, if you don't know who he is, his picture's on the cover of the PPG Bible that Jeff Goen authored. But he lives right here in San Diego. So he'll call me up and say, hey, well, let's go on an adventure. So we took an adventure. We planned on flying from the house out towards the desert where many of you guys know the Salton Sea is. And actually, I could see the Salton Sea at one point. You won't be able to see it in the video, but I could see this vast desert. And we were planning on landing out there, and we had a driver. Actually, Phil Russman offered to drive for us. I ran out of gas.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's this video. Unfortunately, right at this moment, it was like 28 degrees. All of that's frozen down there.
Wait,
we landed on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I landed on the side of the road. You landed in the road.
In the middle of the road.
Yeah.
I don't know if the GoPro caught the footage, but I had to land right here. And
yeah, it was all bad.
Just in between the sign and that little berm.
And you were actually planning on.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Look at this. Now we got a commercial.
Did a commercial just pop up?
Yeah.
You skipped it?
Well, no, I think yeah. Okay, you're not making any money on this one tonight, buddy. But well, 28 degrees out there, man. I lived out in San Diego for 10 years, and I don't remember the temperature ever dropping below 72. Does it really get cold out there? I just don't remember that.
So it was Quimaca. So we're climbing up towards Julian, and then just past Julian, we got Mount Quimaca or Quimaca Mountain. It's like it's about 4,000 feet, I guess. And then you dive over Laguna and then down into the valley, Painted Gorge, and then you got Salton Sea down there. We were planning on just landing down in there. Jeff had a place scoped out. Our retrieve driver was already down there. And we had a radio. I'm telling them, hey, we're not going to make it. I'm out of gas. I took my little mirror out. I looked and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm really low on gas. Jeff said, okay, let's play it safe. Or I said, play it safe. And we landed up on top. Luckily, there was no traffic because literally as I was setting up to land next to him, I made my final turn and done. And I had to land in the road.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you landed safe on that, and God bless you with that. So that's awesome.
Was that your first motor out?
First, technically, yeah. First motor out, first gas, running out of gas.
It's always a fun experience having that happen. I mean, did you go into panic mode? Did you say, I'm just going to land this thing? And
I only had 2 seconds. Yeah, it happened very fast. I was very fortunate. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, by the way,
it would have been really bad if I would have landed in the desert.
Yep. If you are in the chat, you have any questions for Robert, please ask. Rick's going to be looking for those. Rick, I don't know if you've seen any yet, but
yeah, we do have one question there, David, from Dick L. His question was, what country is your new trike engine made from in today's video? HE is manufacturing, comes out of Spain.
There you go. There's your answer. Very good. Now, one of the things, if you remember paragliding, if you were around, you remember paragliding talk, we got to make sure that if you were on the show, you weren't allowed to swear. And Robert had a cuss jar. So Robert laid out some rules for us tonight. Robert, I mean, times have changed. There's now tariffs, and believe it or not, there's now tariffs on the cuss jar too. So Robert, would you like to explain that there?
Yeah, $10 per cuss word.
Our hands are tied.
And the donations go to the church.
That's right.
And so, that's right. Yeah. So watch your potty mouth, or you'll advance the gospel.
Yeah. Well, Gorilla already has to Venmo some money over to Robert, so we're
Yep. It's not the first time PBG's paid me. Yeah,
hey,
Robert, he's paid before.
How long have you been flying paramotors, and how is it in that time span that you've only had one engine out? That's pretty incredible. Yeah, that's a great question. I am not a real paramotor pilot. I just play one on YouTube. And all the videos that you see is all the times I've ever flown a paramotor. So you can count how many that is. But no, realistically, let's see. I've been flying paramotors for going on 6 years. Okay. Yeah. But faithfully, I head to the free flight hill. So
now, didn't I buy you a prop? I think I bought you a prop. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I blew that up right away. Sorry.
Yeah. Been there, done that too.
All right. Free flight guys aren't supposed to paramotor. It's against our rules and regulations, but we got make exceptions.
Tony Morello.
Well, man's got to fly.
What's up, Tony? Tony jumped in there. Hey, buddy.
Where you been, Tony?
Hey, Tony.
I've been up backstage the whole time.
I just saw my I don't get to see the text messages, so I just looked down and says, "I'm leaving if you don't put me in now." Okay, so Tony's
he's making threats.
Oh, David.
Gotta make threats.
Tony,
I've been up backstage the whole time.
I'm sorry.
Well, Tony, you look like you're almost in the green room back there, just waiting. So,
yeah, he's at the hotel.
Tony's been working very diligently on a new building. You want to tell us real quick about what you've been up to, Tony?
Cleaning 7 acres, fencing it.
There you go.
Matt's been helping me with the electric.
Yeah.
And doing everything else, working at the same time.
Just like you, Robert, he wants to be able to fly out of his backyard too.
Nice.
There you
go. We're like family.
Yes. By the way, very important. One of the reasons a lot of people, 58 people, are tuned in right now, not just to see Robert, but also to win a prop. And you're going to be able to do that here later on in the show. We'll put a keyword in there. We'll put that up on the screen. And then we'll go ahead and randomly choose a name. It's not fixed, in case you were thinking that, but it isn't. So there's that. Any other questions so far for Robert?
Stanomatic asked, how many props have you destroyed? I think that's a good question for all of us.
Yeah, I've done 4. But see, the thing is I have rebuilt props too, so I know how to rebuild them. I watched Kyle O'Glee make a form and rebuild them with epoxy and carbon fiber, and so I learned how to do that, and it was a really good investment, because it probably total props broken, if I count the ones that I rebuilt and broke, it's probably like 10.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. David broke 4 last weekend.
I have never broken one in my life.
Five, Rick. 5.
Well, the invoice from Ready to Paramotor says differently, David.
Well,
Did you really, David?
No. Shut up.
Yeah. The cost isn't buying the paramotor. It's all the props you have to replace.
I don't think anybody has a rip of how many he broke.
I'll admit it. I think I broke at least 9.
Oh, way more than that. You have 9 hanging on your wall. You broke way more.
Rip, but you've never done 5 in one day.
No.
So
I did 2 in one day.
That's talent.
Yeah, 2 in one day.
2 in one day. So when I was going through flight training, for those of you who don't know, PPG Gorilla was my flight instructor when I first got into this whole sport. But I broke my first prop, and he handed it to me, and he goes, "Here, mount this on your wall at home." And then the next one, I mounted in my office. And the next one, the hallway to my office. I ran out of wall space. I broke so many props in training. I was probably the worst student he ever had.
He's got one in the bathroom even.
Every wall in the house.
That's right. I do have 2 in the garage that are unmounted, that are out there for whenever I do get some extra wall space. So
let's take a look, Robert. You've done this a couple years. This may be the first time you flew at the Flying Circus, right?
I literally 20 seconds into being at the flying circus this year, I broke a prop.
No, really?
Yeah. I'm just going to be straight up with you. The only reason I'm here tonight is because I need to win that extra pop that you're giving away.
Now the truth comes out.
I mean, we're talking hard times over here, okay?
You could have just stayed in the chat, you know. So there's.
No, I'm in the chat, bro. I'm in there.
Well, you can't win. They'll really be saying it's
no,
win.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Patrick, because Robert would do shows and he would actually win his own prize.
Oh my goodness.
Big thing in the world. I was so upset every time and it was like 3 or 4 times over the course of 300. Is that about right? He's like, just one low till 800. Nice. All right.
Yeah. I'll take it, man. You know what I mean?
Let's take a look at this right here. This is some shots from the flying circus. Did you film this?
Listen, I'm not going to apologize for being.
Oh, with the ads.
Kidding me, Robert?
Get an ad block, David.
No.
I don't know.
David got solar on his house recently, so that's his algorithm now. Is floating in the pool on a Thursday and solar.
All right, here we go.
After that.
There you go.
Can't afford to buy the.
Oh my God!
Can't afford to buy the paid YouTube. What in the world is that? All my lights are flashing in here because there's kids playing with something.
Oh my God. So here's this. And I think coming up on this video is, so here you're flying over some planes. That's illegal, but that's cool. And then where's the fireball? Is that coming up here in a second?
This is like a 10-minute video. But yeah, there was some really fun stuff happens at Flying Circus in it. And I'm not trying to just promote the Flying Circus just because I don't want more people to go because it's already too many people. But this year was so cool. Mo created this contraption, and they're like ballards that you would have blocking maybe like the entrance to Circle K or the gas station. And he filled the ballards with gasoline, diesel fuel, and motor oil. Oh. And then he drops an igniter down inside with a wire, and then 30 feet away hits the igniters, and the fireball explosion is insane. Yeah, I think you skipped right over it, but it was just mind-boggling. So fun. And he popped them like, I don't know, 15 fireballs worth.
How many people?
Maybe more. I'd say 150, 200 maybe. I'm not sure exactly. It's a lot.
Now what is
this is the fireworks. Yep. I think it's right after this. Okay. These guys legitimately waste all the money that you pay to get in on fireworks. So
that sounds like a great time.
It is, and we shoot guns. It's probably the most American thing that I've ever done in my life. I'm flying. We're shooting fireworks illegally. We're blowing up stuff with fire. We've got a gun range where last year I shot a rocket-propelled grenade launcher. So it's a grenade launcher that it's shoulder fire, and shot that. This year I got to shoot a machine gun. That was the first time I ever got to shoot a machine gun. And yeah, you talk about insane, just incredible. So Flying Circus is really fun.
That's my dream flying for sure. Definitely. Yeah, good to hear that it lives up to the hype.
You got to do it. I mean,
actually looks fun.
Yeah, it's fun, man. And I like I like just kind of getting your paramotor out, and there's obviously some constraints, but for the most part, it's like, you want to fly, send it. Let the air traffic control guy know what you're up to, and you got people skydiving at any point in time during the day when the paramotoring's not good, and you'll just be random guy will come flying in and like, oh, there's another one. I woke up in the morning and there was a guy base jumping out of a hot air balloon.
It sounds amazing.
The hot air balloon was tethered by a rope, and the guy, so he just pulls the thing. It gets him up about, I don't know, 300-400 feet, and he just jumps off. It was mind-boggling. Yeah, I get it. Dude, Yankee's in the chat. My word. Yeah,
Yankee.
Hey, Rick, did you see any questions there?
I haven't seen any good questions, no.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Everybody's carrying on a little bit of a chat, but Brock Allen's on there. Brock said the Flying Circus is the most amazing time he's ever had.
Yeah. Oh, Stanomatic, what's your favorite wing? My favorite, I've got two favorite wings. My favorite free flying wing which is near and dear to my heart. It's called the Mantra 7. It's made by Ozone. I fly a medium small. It's 95 kg all up, and that thing is amazing. Modern marvel. The only thing I'm worried about is what wing is going to be comparable to that. I know he's got something. What do you got, Rip?
Oh no, I don't want to rain on your
Come
parade.
on, what wing you got, bro? I need to know.
I just got the new Flow Mystic, but I was flying a Photon, which I absolutely love. I just was looking for a lighter weight glider for my kit, so I don't have to hike out with a lot of weight on my back. So I got the Mystics lighter than the Ozone Light. So it's pretty wild.
The Photon version, the light version of the Photon is called an Ozone, right?
Correct.
Ozone
Light.
Yeah, that might be my next wing.
Yeah, it's expensive as all get out. It's $6+. I mean, retail.
And going up.
But I need you to hook that up.
So what I chimed in is Jerry Devers asked. I think he asked Robert, is Robert going to be at Bad Apples? I don't know if Rick missed that one.
Yeah, probably not. I appreciate the invitation, but I'm on the other side of the world, and it's hard. Once I get I have a dream, and this is probably the first time I'm going to share this publicly, but the dream is to actually get an airplane, and our dream is getting really close. So I'm not going to go into too many details, but we really want to get a plane. So I'm partnering up with a couple people, and my business has been successful in the last few years. We actually already have a hangar, and we're using it as a storage right now for our business. But the plan is to get a plane. If I can get a plane, it'll be a lot more fly-ins on the table, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That's
what kind of plane are you thinking of? Are you thinking like a Vans RV, or what are you thinking of?
You wouldn't believe this, but we've got our eyes on a Mooney.
Wow. Okay.
I know, and we ain't got Mooney money, but it's on the table right now. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I never understood why they took that vertical stabilizer and put it on backwards. I'm still trying to figure that out.
It's fine. I don't think it matters. It's just what Mooney did, and that's it works.
That's
Mooney
awesome.
Drivers. Oh, Mooney drivers. God, don't get me
Moonies.
started.
I looked at getting a Mooney one time, and they told me I was too fat to fit in it, so I had to go back to flying a Cessna.
One at a time.
Says whatever you got, it's got to hold a paramotor.
Yeah. So my second favorite wing, for paramotoring, and I consider them, equal value, is actually it's a wing that Jeff actually let me borrow, and I still have it. I'm eternally borrowing it. It is a Mac Para, and it's called an Illusion. And it is incredible. That wing is incredible. It's a lightweight, I guess. I don't know much about Mac Para, and I apologize ahead of time I'm a complete noob. So count me like a 6-month student. Okay. I don't know much about wings when it comes to paramotor, but I love that wing. So whenever we go fly, we go on the adventure. That's what I use. I was flying the Delta 2, which is a free flight wing. It's a little sketchy because it's a C wing and it has a really good glide ratio, but I'd never run out of gas with that thing. Catch thermals in the morning.
Well, the Mac Para, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't those completely handmade? Like just hand sewn, handmade and tested? Rick, you got any knowledge on that?
I think so.
They're good wings. They're good wings. I've put several students on them. I've flown a couple myself, but yeah. Good products, good wings.
Can I ask a question? I'm really fascinated about Gorilla's motor. The Gorilla. I think of Gorilla Tape sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, Gorilla Tape, that's better. Gorilla Glue. Oh yeah, that's good. And then when you said I'm gonna Gorilla motor, I was like, yeah, I need that.
Well, the whole
I'm rough on stuff.
The whole thing is held together with the Gorilla Tape, the Gorilla Glue. There's no bolts, nuts, nothing. It's all
yeah.
For $5.99 at Ace Hardware, a little Gorilla Tape, and you take any titanium paramotor, and then you got the strongest paramotor.
So now that Super what's his name has left the country, now we're claiming the world's strongest paramotor.
Yeah,
so it's an adaptation. It's an adaptation of a paramotor that I've used a lot in the school. and we found it to be really, really tough, really, really strong hoop and cage. Guys fall over, they don't bend it. Guys on trikes roll it over. We just stand it back up. It usually doesn't even get the prop. So that's our main line, and we have a few lighter version, titanium versions, and trikes and stuff like that. We're really looking forward to releasing those all at Bad Apples.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah. So Robert, we went down to Argentina. Guys? Maybe was it 5 weeks ago? 5 weeks ago to our factory, and we sat down with our product development manager and our engineer. And we brought Patrick along. Tony was with us, and we sat down and we had a powwow. Of course, Tony had to translate because my Spanish is bad. I speak every language but Greek and Spanish. But we sat down with the product development and the engineer, and we refined this thing, and we came up with so many changes to literally lighten the weight but keep the integral strength to this paramotor. That's something that just everybody's going to love. Now, it might not be the right frame for everybody, but this thing is strong, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. Between Patrick's input and Gorilla's experience, and I mean just the collective of the whole group, I think we've come up with a real winner here that's different than any other frame that's on the market. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm real excited about it. And it's cool because I use those in training, and I have a student currently right now, and he was trike training. He had a little incident and he rolled over during his training. Well, we stood it right back up and put him right back on it and went again, and he was blown away by that. And he decided at that point that's what he wanted to fly, so that's what he bought. So the equipment speaks for itself.
Yeah, if you could roll it over and write it up, it's a good motor. It's a good paramotor.
Definitely. Typically, the way that I look at paramotors is they're kind of like this fragile thing. If you throw them down or if you fall over slightly, they're bent up. It's nice that you don't even have to think about it. It's a little safer, and it's definitely a really nice frame.
Yeah. So Robert, have you ever flown trike, or are you just done foot launch?
Yeah, just foot launch. I don't even know if I'm allowed to fly paramotors, to be honest. Do you have to have a rating for that?
Not according to the FAA and FAR 103. No.
Good. I probably shouldn't say that publicly in case I was around. Yeah, you don't have your certification. Well, yeah, I barely got any training, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, Robert. So flying trike for me, I'm a trike pilot. I'm not a foot launch guy. I got 2 left feet when it comes to running, and when I was going through my foot launch training, I think I've face planted the ground, skinned my chin a few times, and we all decided that flying trike was a better way to go for me. But I'll tell you, I bought this expensive paramotor, and I bought this nice titanium frame, and I didn't fly for a couple weeks. And I got back out there to the airport, and I said, man, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And I hit the throttle a little too fast. And when I did, it pulled on the lines, and it bent the titanium frame back, almost cut the lines, screwed my prop. I mean, instantaneous prop. There was so much flex in that titanium frame, and it was so weak that it just damaged my equipment. Okay. But on the Gorilla paramotor, it is so much more forgiving. So our prototype, we're not ready to release this to the public yet, but our prototype, I did the same thing. And it's an accidental thing. You hit the throttle, you're nervous, your adrenaline's pumping. And on the Gorilla, that frame can flex back, but it's so strong that you can walk away from it without destroying a prop and survive it and take off. And so that's the integral strength that we were looking for, is anybody from a student to an advanced foot launch pilot, a trike flyer, it doesn't matter. They can all hop on that Gorilla, and it's forgiving. And most of them out there we find are not so forgiving.
That's right.
Pretty cool, Matt, that you were an air traffic controller. You were saying that before we started. That's pretty neat. Does everybody know that?
Yeah.
I feel like air traffic controllers, you got to go through some stuff.
Yeah. Tony,
most people don't.
Tony, I think you were going to ask something before.
What was that?
Doing?
Tony, were you going to say something before? I thought you were about to say something.
No, I'm good.
Did you want us to tell us about the 206 in Spanish? I mean, you can tell us.
206 in Spanish?
Yeah, talk about it in Spanish, so all the Spanish-speaking people can never mind. Forget about it.
I already have somebody on. Did Crystal call you today?
No, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
We have a couple questions in the chat. Will Fly asked if we'll be doing any type of package plans, wing with a motor.
So yeah, so we have some package plans that are coming. We're going to have a special offer that goes out after Bad Apples that I think is going to be spectacular. So I'm not saying to hold off on purchasing anything, but we're going to pair those. So we've just got approval. Yes, actually yesterday. So we will be offering Niviuk wings. So we got a special deal going with Niviuk. So we're going to offer Niviuk wings, and we think they'll pair well with the Gorilla Paramotor. Of course, I've said this before in the video, so it's no surprise. We are working with Aviator to provide ozone wings. But we're constantly working on that. So we want to develop a relationship with more wing manufacturers so we can give better selection to customers. But yes, to answer your question in the longest possible way, yes, we will have packages.
Ricky.
Good. Another question from Josie in the chat. Any tips on overcoming fear for someone trying to get into paramotoring? Also, any schools near Nevada that you all can recommend?
Oh,
I can address the first one. I'm scared of heights. I'm terrified. I still am. So you just get used to it. You learn to trust your equipment.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're afraid of heights,
That's why I always fly so low. You ever see me
No
flying?
kidding.
So low.
He never gets up there very high.
Listen, when I go to a hotel and they've got that inner courtyard and they put me on the 9th floor and they have that little glass balcony around the front, no, there's no way you're getting me near that balcony.
Yeah,
but
that's funny.
I won't go up the roof. I get nervous going down people's staircases. I'm scared of falling, not so much of heights. But when you're just like in paragliding, when you're up there, you're wrapped in nice and tight inside of a harness. You don't feel like you're going to fall. Even if you're flying upside down, you don't feel like you're going to fall out.
So, we assume by the question from Joe, that this is a fear of heights. But, I can remember back when I was a student, it wasn't a fear of heights for me. It was the fear of all of a sudden you've got this motor strapped on your back that has such immense power compared to anything you've ever been used to, right? And so how do you go from running that kite down the field and kiting and talking with your instructor and sitting in that two-stroke motor and you just hearing the rev of that engine and get through that fear of, am I going to live? Am I going to die when I hit full throttle on this? And, Tony is an instructor with Rick over at Florida Flight Sports. And I remember specifically, Tony, when I had that fear, he told me to slow everything down. Rick was telling me to slow everything down, and we were focusing on taxi. So Tony, talk to them a little bit about how just trying to taxi and not being worried about takeoff, getting used to that motor and the power on your back, and how that can help get through that fear factor.
Well, when I seen the look that Matt gave me, and I seen that look of fear, I walked over to him and pretty much say, hey, you just need to calm it down. When you hit that power, make sure that wind comes over and you taxi, you slow down. Once you get that wind completely over you, it's when you hit that power. But you got to slow it down a little bit. And he just looked at me, and when I said taxi, it was like, what are you talking about, taxi? And I had to tell him, hey, taxi means slow it down. Slow it down. And it's not the first one. I've had a few that I've talked to that you have to explain to them, calm down, taxi down the field and go. And make any corrections. You have enough time to make any corrections. You're not going that fast, but you're not going slow either. But you have time to make any correction, get it under control, and go.
There you go.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things, David, is when you're a new student, you read the manual, you have so much adrenaline, you have so much excitement, and then you get in there and you feel this self pressure that you put on yourself of, by the time I strap in this thing, I've got to go fly and I've got to get airborne. And one of the great things about Florida Flight Sports and working with Rick and Tony is that they really do a good job of not rushing that, getting you through the steps and getting you to the point where you can take off and feel comfortable sitting inside that paramotor before you ever hit full throttle on that thing, right?
That's right. And Joe, I would say I would say, try to get up for a tandem ride and try to relax a little bit. And then it's just a matter of making yourself comfortable and learning that, knowing that you can trust your equipment. The first flights are kind of nerve wracking and you're a ball of nerves. And after that, you just start to relax a little bit and you become more and more comfortable. I remember early in my flying, I was up at like 1,500 feet and I just all of a sudden it hit me like, what am I doing here? And just took a deep breath, calm down, and you'll become more and more comfortable as time goes on, as you learn you can trust your equipment and trust your training.
Yep. Very good. There is a question here, Robert. And this comes from a gentleman who spent a lot of time with you on Paragliding Talk. And I was actually going to ask the same question. Sean Asker says, out of the 300 episodes of Paragliding Talk, who was your favorite guest and why? Well, let me answer that for you, Sean. So I believe Gorilla was on the show. Were you not on a guest on the show, Rick?
I think I was, yeah.
Okay, and I know Ripa was, and I
More
was
than once.
I was on a couple times, and Robert always said after the show, David, don't tell anybody this, but you're definitely my favorite.
Oh, please.
No, I was gonna. So Robert, I will let you answer that. I mean, you can tell everybody the other guy that you said, but I also want to make mention of a guest that was memorable, but also has been on national TV recently, and that's your buddy Black Griffin. I think it was America's Got Talent, right? Is America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
Him and his brother were amazing on it. When I saw him, my first thought was, oh my gosh, that's the guy from Paragliding Talk. Robert made this guy famous.
Famous, yeah.
All right. Go ahead and answer.
Paragliding.
Go ahead and lie and answer Sean's question. Who is your favorite guest and why?
Yeah, that's such a tough one. But I would argue Black Griffin probably one of my favorites just because of the background. I mean, the guy was chosen by Elon Musk and his team to go to outer space at one point. He didn't actually get to go to outer space, but he went with the training and all the different things that happened with that. He won America's Got Talent twice. He went to the finals, the super finals for America's Got Talent. He was a Navy SEAL. There's more. He flew in an fighter jet, an F-15 or F-16. Right. What I'm forgetting others. I mean, insane. He's the one that actually let me shoot his rocket propelled his grenade launcher. Numbers of other things. But you know who else was a really good guest? His name was George Steinmetz. He's a photographer, National Geographic. And he's the one that's famous for that picture with the camels. And he's looking down on the sand and you could see the shadows of the camels. That guy was so cool. I was shocked he came on the show. He ghosted me after that. I wanted to do a part 2, but he ghosted me and stopped responding to my emails. But very cool guy. There was another one, and you'll have to dig deep in the archive for this one if you want to find a really, really good episode. And it's all about birds, and it's Birdman Dave Metzger. He trains here at Torrey Pines, and he has this thing called the Raptor Experience, and you can actually you can hold these birds, and he'll fly them, and he has some feathers and some meat on a string. He'll swing it around, and he's a real falconer, but such a cool guy. Well, we talk all about birds on that and sharing thermals with bald eagles and golden eagles and why certain birds are the way they are, falcons and peregrines and different animals.
Robert, what about Kinga? She was great.
Yeah, I know Kinga. Every time Kinga was incredible. That's why I say it's really hard to say there was one guest, we had Gavin McClurg. We had 4 different X-Alps pilots on the paragliding show. I mean, it's for that, just that alone. I mean, it's hard for me to pick one, but there is one. If I was in the chat and I would ask a question, who did I really want to have on the show that I never had? I wanted to have Kriegel Maurer on the show, the Eagle. He's the one that wins the X-Alps every year. And if you don't know what the X-Alps is, I encourage you, go dig it up. It's called the Red Bull X-Alps, and it's where they fly 1,000 kilometers, typically from Salzburg to Monaco across the Alps. And it's run, hike, fly, and you just got to get there and you figure it out. And there's turn points and all kinds of stuff. And they follow it really nicely with with all the technology we have now.
Very good.
Hey, Robert, what advice would you give to paramotor pilots that are wanting to transition into paragliding and thermal flying specifically?
Great question.
Okay, you want to transition from motoring to free flight?
Yeah, or even like
Yeah.
some guys will fly their motor in thermals. Is there
Yeah.
anything that?
Okay, great question. My advice for the guy that's switching from free flight to paramotor is stop leaning forward, rely on the motor, and also get used to the thrust. Let it be your thermal. You don't need to run. You can let the motor push you and just lean back and trust the motor. A lot of free flight guys want a torpedo because we're used to it, run off the hill. If you're switching from free flight or from paramotoring and you want to add some spice to your life, I say it's like going from playing checkers to playing chess. Focus on the weather now. Really become a student of weather, and it'll naturally happen, especially if you're going to be flying. If you're going to be flying places where it's just you and you got to go and fly and you don't have a whole lot of other people to bounce off of. But that's I think some good advice. Also, link hearts with the locals and always try to fly with somebody that's better than you.
Well, so I got a question for you, Robert. So, one of the things Patrick kind of alluded to is some of the motor guys. Now, I'm in Florida, so we don't have mountains, we don't have cliffs, so we have dunes, which Ripman told us about last week, which was awesome. But if these guys want to go up and they want to take their power paraglider, and they want to go up and start riding thermals and shut the motor down or take the motor to idle and just run those thermals, what kind of wing should they really be on? Should we be on a big slow boaty wing? Should we be on a fast wing? Where should we be?
So it's all going to depend on. There's a lot of dynamics. So if you're wanting to penetrate, if you're flying higher winds, you're going to have a smaller wing. Obviously, when we're flying the coast here, Torrey Pines, you're familiar, used to live here in San Diego. Torrey Pines can have winds up to maybe 25, 30 that you can pull out a tiny little 10-meter wing and launch off of and have a good time. But there are days when you wish you had a tandem, because if you have the big boaty wing, you can fly around and stay in the air. My recommendation is bring a wing that you're most comfortable with, and don't try to fly weather that you're not able to fly in. Don't try to fly weather that you're not capable of flying in. If it's gusting up to 25, probably shouldn't be out there if you don't know how to ground handle very good. And get used to your wing. Make your wing a part of your body, because literally you are the fuselage. I mean, if you don't know your wing, if you don't know what's capable of, you'll be disappointed. I love my wing. It's almost it's an obsession. And so I always get a little nervous when I get a lot of hours on. I'm like, oh man, I got to find another wing that's comfortable. It's got to be like this. And it's like a new relationship. It's like buying a horse.
So you've seen like the evolution of wings. My question for you is, and I don't want to get into a debate about it, but what is your thoughts on more reflex gliders being added as free flight gliders?
Yeah, I'm an ozone guy. I love ozone. I feel like they're kind of the Maserati of the air world, and I'll just drop a grenade down your stovepipe if you've whatever other wings you love. It is what it is. I love ozone. They're tried and tested. They have a lot of different wings. I believe they have a line that has reflex technology in it, but I can't say that I know enough about those wings to really form an opinion. Now, free flight, I can tell you, when you're wanting to stay in the air, obviously you've got to progress into a more I'll call it a more dangerous wing. It's a faster wing. It's gonna be a little bit more dynamic, a higher aspect ratio. It's gonna want to throw you around a little bit. You've got to be more on the toggles. You got to pay more you got to pay attention closely and not be flying loosely, or it's active piloting all the time. I think you follow the progression. One advice that I got from one of my guests way back in the day, it's a guy named Gabriel. And Gabe was a teacher at Torrey Pines for many, many years. Well, his last name's Jeb. Gabe Jeb said this. He said, when you're ready to segue to another wing, to move up in a class, he said, launch earlier with your older wing and launch later with the new wing. Meaning, like, don't try to fly with the same expectations. There's like a conservative shift, if you will. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm a huge fan of of Ozone stuff, just because they've been able to they're like the juggernaut. They've been able to, I don't want to say steal, but they've been able to bring on all the best guys from all the wing manufacturers and put them all in one house and then produce a superior wing.
There you go. I wanted to, a lot of people have already started to see this, but at the very bottom of the screen, we're going to be giving away that prop here in just a few moments. Make sure you're putting hashtag Robert in the comments. That's the only way that you have a chance of winning. And it doesn't matter if you put it more than one time. It's only going hashtag Robert, not just Robert. Hashtag.
Okay.
Hashtag in there. So I'm going to put mine in too. But it only counts once. So you can put it in. It only counts for once. Now, if your mother's watching the show and you want her to...
Mom. Yeah. Hashtag Robert, Mom.
Jenny, put hashtag Robert in.
All right. Robert, which one is who's your mom in this chat? Who's your mom?
My mom is she is Paramom, and
Paramom is your mom.
Yeah, she's the host of Lindy's Treehouse Thursday nights.
Okay, great. Well, I would like to watch her show. That would be awesome. So she has been great. I think she's been here almost on every single episode with us.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Oh yeah,
and
she doesn't
that's absolutely awesome. So I'll call her Mom. Hi, Mom. Thanks for being here and supporting your son. We're glad to have him tonight.
Yeah, she's in there.
Yes. Should we give it away? Are we ready?
Let's do it. Let's give it away. So before we give it away, they are going to have to let me know what engine, what reduction that they have. But we are giving away tonight. We're giving a Fly the Best, amazing carbon fiber prop, and I can't wait to give this away. And not a E prop. This is Fly the Best.
Is it?
So this is
that's a brand.
This is a brand. This is an amazing brand. The quality of the prop's awesome. People have attested to that they have better thrust with this prop than compared to other props. And I don't know that to be a fact yet. So we have a thrust table being built. We're going to test it. We're going to post the results. Gorilla and Tony, they're going to help me. I think, David, you're going to come too and help us with the thrust table. We're bringing the thrust table to Bad Apples as well. So people can feel it and see it for themselves. But this is this absolutely beautiful prop. And Mom loves you, brother. That's awesome.
I have one question before we give this away here, Matt. One of our viewers who has been loyal for 5-6 years, he lives in Australia.
Okay.
And the shipping on that's more than the prop. Will we send
Walter?
You know what?
He doesn't need nothing. Don't be sending him that stuff.
No.
If he wins, it goes to me. He's like my dad.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll save the tariff, and if he wins it, I will drop ship it from Fly the Best to Australia. We'll save some shipping. We'll save the tariff because I don't think there's a tariff over there. So if the Australian wins it, and what's his name before so I can know
Walter.
We have so many stickers. My gosh.
I know.
He's still waiting. He
for
didn't put the hashtag Robert, so it's fine. You don't have to worry about him winning.
Okay, good. Let's do it. Let's give it away. How many entries do we have? Only 19?
Are you kidding?
Yeah. Spin that thing. Go ahead.
Only 19.
Yeah, go ahead.
Really?
Your chances
are there.
Man, your chances to win in here are good. Wow. Okay.
I got like 2 really good chances.
This is it. Who's it gonna be?
Me.
Scott.
Oh, my
Scott
buddy
Barlow.
Scott.
God, all right.
I know Scott. He's a
Scott?
good
Good job,
guy.
brother.
Who's
Scott's
Scott?
from Kentucky.
I never even saw him in the chat.
Good
Yeah.
deal, Scott.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Scott. So here's what you need to do.
Well, okay. Well, Tony Barzano said there were only 29 watching. Well, okay. Well, I feel bad for the other 900 and some odd people that weren't watching.
So what you're gonna have to do, as Matt just said, everything that he just said, that we need that information, but there's the email address to send it to, so you can redeem your prize. Okay, and anybody's interested in looking up Ripa's social media, there it is on the screen as well.
Oh, stop it.
Bingo. He's got a great profile on there.
He does.
If you put a profile on there, you guys are in trouble.
Can I tell you something, Rip? What happens when I see that you post at a fly-in and you just chill and set your camera up and just watch launches? I watch every one, and I can't get away from it. I have to watch every one, every launch, every landing, whatever's happening.
You enjoy it. I'll
I'm
continue.
a super fan.
That is so unfortunate.
You can learn a lot from it. You can really see what people are doing
That's
wrong.
why.
Not leaning back, or they're too fast on the power. The wing hangs back and then surges forward. You can learn so much from those videos.
That's why. Because, I mean, when you don't get proper training, you got to like search everywhere else.
Yeah.
Just go to school. Call PPG Grill and just go to his school. Don't do what I did. It's sucky.
Okay, Robert. Speaking of that, can I ask what's the most, whether it's like a weather thing or like maybe a gear thing, but what's the most sketchy paramotor or paraglider flight that you ever had?
When I was brand new, I'll say probably about maybe a year in, I tried to do some big boy flying with the guys here locally at a site called Palomar. And Palomar, on a day that I probably should not have been flying, but I talk big and I've got I'm fine and I'm learning and blah blah blah, and the guys bit into that I was going to be fine, and I was on a spicier wing than I should have been on. I took a collapse at about 6,000 feet above sea level, and there was this phenomenon called wind shear. Okay, so there's something that happens where air masses will hit each other, and that's called a convergence. But there's also something that happens between an inversion and layers where you might have two air masses that'll pass by each other like this, and it will cause these little vortices. And this is just my theory. I have no idea if it's real or not. And it's what I've been telling everyone anyways. I hit wind shear and my wing just completely collapsed. And when it popped back open, I was in a face down spiral and I was giving the wrong inputs. So completely G'd up, giving the wrong inputs. And if you know anything, if you go into a sat, there's like this moment where you have to pull through the G's, and then you can be in a sat and the G's are a little bit more relaxed, and now you're flying backwards and doing something cool. But in that moment where you're like, your brain, you say, okay, now you have to pull through that to get into the sat. It was at that moment, and I was just like stuck there, and I'm just face down. And then by the time I figured out what was going wrong, I flipped it into the opposite direction and did the same thing again. And this was 1,000 feet in 1 minute. That's what the video was. All this total chaos and cascade event. And then it pops out, and you'll see the video. It's my most viral video. And so it's called Welcome Palomar. Yeah. And that was the most sketchy thing. I've also had some, we'll argue, some questionable moments with the paramotor. Never fly over water without flotation. If you don't get anything else out of this whole entire show, take flotation seriously. Don't go in the water with that motor on. It is really scary. I never went into, and I know there's only one other person in here that has, David, but you want to have flotation.
Oh, flotation. I thought you needed tree trimmers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or a tree rescue kit.
Tree rescue.
Oddly enough.
Like ladders. You need ladders on your.
Yeah, you need a ladder.
Truck,
you pull out of your harness.
I have the ability to mute all of you with one button.
So I actually carry some dental floss in my kit for that very reason. And you're like, why do you need dental floss? Well, then you can drop the string down to get your rope to help you to get out of the tree.
Right, cool.
Yeah,
so did you see Brooke's question in there, Patrick? Your girl Brooke posted the question.
Yes.
Brooke, Robert,
handle this debate. How do you hold your toddlers?
Oh, great question, Brooke. Love that. Okay, so it's kind of hard to describe, but let me see if I can use this this little charging whack. So I have a way. Now, I will say what I think is dangerous. The dangerous way is to put your hand through and hold like this, because there are situations where you'll be handcuffed. Okay, there'll be situations where your hands will get tied in, and then you might be in a cascade event and you can't do anything because your hands are stuck inside the thing. You can't get your hand out of the deal. What I do, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. Can you highlight this, David? So
we're seeing it well, Robert. We're seeing it.
There you go.
I will put my hand through like this, keeping my thumb out, and I'll take a wrap like that.
In all flying or in all flying?
No, not in all flying, because you can't do that with the motor because you've got the throttle in your hand.
Yeah.
And I put the throttle in my left hand. So you can't really take a wrap in that. So that means any sats that I do with the motor, it's got to be with the right hand.
Yeah, that's how I do it too. Is I'm throttle left and then take a wrap on the right. Yeah.
So what about the pilots who think that the best way is to take your brakes and scrunch the brake up in your hand and just hold it by the line above the brake? What do you think of that method?
I don't think it's good. I'll tell you why. You're going to need more control than that when it G's up. That'll yank it right out of your hand. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
At least you can have some, what's the term I'm looking for? Some resistance before it comes flying off your hand if you just have your 4 fingers in there.
So question for both of you and John, do you both hold your toggles differently, whether you're paragliding or paramotoring from one to the other?
Differently, yes.
Okay.
When I'm paramotoring, I might even just hold it with just my fingers, the bottom of the ring. Probably not good advice, but that's what I do.
What about you, John? Same
thing, different. I do the same thing Robert does on my free flight, and then with the paramotor, I just, have to hold the throttle. So I actually have like straight bars. I don't have loops. So I just put 2 fingers on the bar.
Okay. Well, listen, I think we've gone over an hour and it's been awesome. And one thing is definitely for sure, every single episode, our guests just get better. Sorry, John.
Set the bar low. Don't worry.
Down from here now.
Set the bar high.
You can only go up from here.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll ask Robert this question. He used to always ask it to every one of his guests, would you come back again and do another show with us?
Oh, we're having connection issues. You're
hello, no comprendo.
Can you hear me?
Oh, that's too bad because we were going to give a prop away on that one. Oh, these gone.
There he is. Okay. Well, Robert, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with you tonight, man.
Yeah. I'd do it again.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, good.
For sure.
Good. You can take over my spot then.
Well, come on, David. Everybody loves to see that sunburnt face.
Robert also Robert and I know, and John knows from doing so many shows, it's tough to do it week after week, which is why we're not doing it week after week. We're doing it every other week just to give ourselves a break. So,
what happened? We were doing it once a month. What happened? Now we're doing it every other week.
I know it's
crazy every week.
Well, we've got a lot of information that has to be put out there now. See, David, Rick doesn't know this yet, but Rick is coming to the Ready to Paramotor set tomorrow morning, and we're going to film a video and a comparison video tomorrow. But Tony is coming too. Okay, Tony's going to be there. We're making Tony come. But tomorrow morning, we are sitting down with the board and we are doing the first evaluations for Operation Gratitude and reviewing applications tomorrow.
Yes.
Patrick,
It was Operation Gratitude.
Patrick and I didn't get our invites for that, but that's okay.
Well, we're doing the initial review. So what we're going to do is we're going to pre-qualify all the applicants tomorrow, and we're going to come down to a final 4.
He doesn't know what Operation Gratitude is.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that?
Robert, right? It's this really cool program, but I'm going to let Rick explain it to you.
Operation Gratitude. We want to give back to some veterans here. So we're going to pick out a deserving veteran of any branch. It doesn't matter. And we're going to provide all the training for this veteran. And we're also going to provide them with their equipment, with their paramotor and their wing. So we're really excited about it. We got some really great applicants, and looking forward to starting to go through them tomorrow and get them narrowed down a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah. So
That's
tomorrow,
super cool.
Oh, dude, it is totally super cool. And I'll tell you what, I'm the one who's received all the applications in the mail. I perused them, initially, and my gosh, it's going to be hard to pick a winner.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. I mean, we have so many compelling stories, so many guys with excellent time and service that served our country,
guys and girls.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had one
Girls
female
too?
applicant.
No
we had a female applicant that came in last week.
A mermaid?
Yes, Jeff Goyne, the mermaid.
Well played, Patrick. Well played.
That was pretty good. But yeah, so tomorrow, we're gonna film a couple videos tomorrow. We are going to be doing a comparison video on the Monster 185 to the HE 185 tomorrow, which I'm excited about. I kind of left these guys in suspense. I said, prepare to spend yourself for a couple of hours putting videos together, but we're doing a comparison video tomorrow, which is going to be really interesting. And then after that, we sit down, we're going to go to the final 4, and then we're going to bring the final 4 to the board. So Patrick, David, Tony, Gorilla, and myself, we're going to sort through those final 4. We're going to discuss whether or not we're going to do phone interviews, and then we're going to narrow this thing down because we're literally looking at less than 45 days to giving this away.
There you go.
Are you guys filming the process?
Well, we weren't going to necessarily film the review, right? So we're going to be opinionated, right? So we're going to tear these things apart, okay? And it's hard because you literally have such great guys and a female, a girl that have literally sacrificed for our country, fought for our country. Some of them have injuries, some of them have PTSD, and just they're all deserving people, and just amazing people that every one of us would be, lucky to know and lucky to say thank you for your service and defending our country. But we've got this horrible job now, so we set out this thing. It's an exciting thing. We want to take care of a veteran, but now we have this horrible job of ciphering through these and picking a winner, and that's not easy.
Yeah. But I think the reveal is going to be at Bad Apples, correct? We're going to announce the winner at Bad Apples. So that'll be exciting.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's wrap it up here. I want to thank Rick and Matt and John and Patrick and Tony for co-hosting.
Do we have to wrap it up?
Thank you for having us on the show.
There you go. I want to give Robert the opportunity, since he was the first one to do all these shows. He's going to close us out tonight with only the way that Robert Michaels could do when he was back on paragliding. Robert, take it away.
If I don't see you on there, I'll see you in there. Have a great night.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Good night, everybody.